In this video, I'll go over the absolute best PLR websites of 2025. PLR stands for Private Label Rights, and in this case, it applies to done-for-you content, which you can purchase and resell or reuse in a variety of different ways to create your own products or create your own content. And if you're a business owner or a marketer, PLR content is one of the most effective ways to create higher quality content and products and save time while you're doing so. And in this video, we'll look at my 5 favorite PLR websites of 2025. The first link in the description will go to this article on my blog. And while you're here, if you want, you can download a free copy of my ebook, PLR Products Are the Path, which discuss a bunch of different ways that you can use PLR to make money and grow your business. So just tap that button and fill out the form that pops up. And if you're not interested in that, then you can just come down here and learn more about all of these PLR websites. And I am an affiliate for all of these websites. So if you use these links in my blog post, then I'll get a commission on anything that you purchase. And I would really appreciate it if you use those links. I'll put a couple of my affiliate links in the description of this video as well, but I'm not going to include all of them because I'm going to go over at least 5 websites in this video, and I don't want to have a ton of affiliate links cluttering up the description. And if you think that you'll be purchasing PLR in the future or multiple times, then you might want to bookmark this page because I only make a best PLR websites video about once a year, but I update this blog post every couple of months. So if you remember to come back and check this blog post, you'll see any updates that I put here. And depending on your browser notifications, when you're on my blog, you might have the opportunity to opt in to push notifications. And in addition to being on my email list, that is one of the best ways to get notified whenever I publish new content on my YouTube channel or on my blog. By the way, my name is Alex. I'm the owner of Lover Fighter Writer. If you find this video helpful, please like it, subscribe to the channel if you want to see more content, and share it with anyone who you think would find it helpful. All right, we'll start with PLR ME, which in my opinion is the best PLR website of 2025. It has been the best PLR website for a while now, in my opinion. And don't get me wrong, every PLR website that I'm going to mention today has great content, and all of them are worth spending money on if they have what you want. But PLR ME, I would say, has the highest quality of content consistently across the most topics, with the most new content being added regularly. And they also have a bunch of AI tools and other resources that you can use built right into their website to make it easier to rebrand and work with the content that you purchase. And if you use my affiliate link to sign up for PLR ME, you actually get 10 free credits just for signing up. And once you're signed up, you'll also get 2 credits a month just for maintaining your free account. And once you're signed in, you might see a little notification down here like this in the bottom right corner. And this is a free interactive content marketing training, which they will give you credits just to go through, because in addition to teaching you content marketing, it specifically teaches you how to do content marketing with their products and their software. But obviously, they really know what they're talking about when it comes to PLR and content marketing. So it's really worth going through that training. You get more free credits. And then they have a bunch of different pricing plans where you can get credits on a pay-as-you-go basis, where you just pay for however many you want. Or they have a bunch of different subscriptions that come with access to their software, as well as a certain amount of credits every month or annually or whatever. So there's a bunch of different pricing options, which you can check out if you want. But just by signing up with my affiliate link, you'll instantly get 10 free credits. And then, like I said, 2 free credits a month. And you should have access to this training to get a bunch of extra credits as well. And we'll take a look at their catalog in a moment. But even before I do that, just from this homepage, you can see the variety and the quality of content that they have. So we have ebook covers on spiritual gifts, self-discipline, thought leadership for business, how to accept criticism, a freelancer's guide to getting clients, beginner's guide to content marketing, homeschooling content, gratitude content. And I really like the layout of this page, actually. It's really cool how these all kind of pop up like this. But let's take a look at their content library. And there's a bunch of different ways that you can filter the content. And you can see there's almost 20,000 products. So you're going to want to filter it based on what you're looking for. And first thing I always do is, if I'm looking for an individual product, I uncheck bundles. And if I'm looking for a bundle, then I uncheck products. I never have both checked because they just kind of get in the way of each other. And then we can expand the categories to see all the different categories. And there's a bunch of categories that probably overlap to a certain extent. And sometimes I'll do a keyword search. So up here at the top, you can just search and then you can add filters to the search. But if I'm not looking for anything hyper specific, if, for example, I'm working on a lead magnet for a client and I'm considering a few different options, then instead of searching for something specific, I would just go and look at what's available. So let's say, for example, I was doing something in the dating and relationships niche. Well, there's a clear dating and relationships category, so I can just check that and look at approximately 700 products that fit there. But there's a few others that I could also check, which could be very relevant to that niche. Like, for example, motivation and passion, managing emotions, attitude and perception, and friendship and dealing with others. Those are all things that are very relevant to dating and relationships. And so depending on exactly what my client's selling and what type of lead magnet I want to make, I might want to check some of these or not. And with all those checked, we've got just under 3,000 individual products. And it looks like there's tons of 1 credit options and probably a wide variety of pricing. And so the last thing that I usually do, and sometimes I go a bit beyond this, but the filter that really makes the difference is the types filter right here. And one of the things that I found is that interactive lead magnets tend to get a much better opt-in rate than static lead magnets. And I've had really good results with static lead magnets like PDF ebooks and video training where they just have to opt in and then they get the thing. But some of my most effective lead magnets have been interactive things such as worksheets and action guides. And so I'm going to select worksheets and action guides, and we'll just check courses and lead magnets as well. And there's one challenge, so we'll take that. And now we only have a little under 200 results to deal with. And the last thing that I forgot to mention there is that you can also filter it by credits and by page count. I don't think I've ever used the page count thing, but I guess if you didn't want something that's really short, then you could use that there, or if you didn't want something that's really long. But credits can also be really useful because if you have a budget, for example, then you might want to say like, okay, I don't want to spend more than, I don't want to spend over 78 credits on this, but maybe I don't want to look at all the 1 credit things. So I'll put this up to 6. And now we have it down to 23 results. And if I've used these filters correctly, then most of these should be products that I could easily turn into a lead magnet or possibly even an inexpensive product itself. And as an example of what I mean when I say that you can take content from other niches and use it in a niche like dating and relationships, here we have an action guide called the Mental Block Breakthrough. Well, I could edit this a little bit and rebrand it as how to get out of your own way and find the relationship you've always wanted. Something like that. I could come up with a better title. I could use the instructions in how to break through mental blocks and apply that specifically to dating. I could even get more hyper specific than that and make it something like how to get through mental blocks and get back to dating after a breakup. Mental toughness is another thing which could certainly be applied to either dating or long-term relationships, especially for men. Getting a date or finding a relationship often involves going through quite a bit of rejection. And so mental toughness is very important and could be applied there. Overcoming overthinking is a huge one. And there's tons of different ways that you can learn that. I've studied it through stoicism and mindfulness and a bunch of other things. But relationships are absolutely something that most people have probably overthinked or overthunk or overthought about at some point in their life. So that could be a really good one. And I actually want to just take a quick look at the ones that are specifically for dating and relationships. So I'll uncheck these other categories. And so we have a guide to emotional intelligence, a guide to keeping a relationship interesting, I guess, and a variety of things about how to get into a relationship and how to make that relationship last. And so that is PLR ME. I know I spent a lot of time on that, but like I said, it is my favorite website and you can get a bunch of free value just by signing up with my affiliate link. And if you also visit my blog and sign up for my email list with this form, if you buy anything through any of these PLR websites, just reply to any of my emails and let me know. And I'll send you free access to one of my courses that will help you use your PLR even more effectively. All right, my second favorite PLR website right now is PLR Planners. And the reason I like PLR Planners so much is in addition to having really high quality content and really good offers, it's kind of unique in that they really focus strongly on planners and journals and what you would typically call low content PLR. So whereas most PLR is content like ebooks and videos and content products where you're purchasing it for the content, low content PLR are more interactive things where you're buying the product to do something with it, to use it for something, rather than just to learn from it by consuming the content. And so that's kind of their focus. It's mostly on planners, and I think they also have a lot of like calendars and journals and things like that. And some of them are printable. Some I think you can order physical versions of. And so if you want to create, for example, a workbook or a worksheet or a journal or anything like that that has your custom branding on it, this is a really good place to get that. And they also have a lot of really good training on how to use this stuff. Like, for example, one place that you can sell low content books like journals and stuff is on Amazon. And so they have training on how to use Amazon and how to use Kindle and how to sell effectively on those platforms. I think they also have some general marketing training and some tools that you can purchase, and then just a ton of different journals and planners. And it looks like they also have some young children educational resources like a kindergarten curriculum, grade 1 kids math activities. We've got printable board games, freelance project templates, as well as specific types of planners like wedding planners, an essential oils journal, images that you can use to make coloring books, and all types of what we would call low content PLR. So if that's the kind of thing that you're looking for, some of these other websites do have some worksheets and planners and things like that. But if I'm looking for a PLR planner or journal or something like that, the first place I'm going to go is PLR Planners. And the third store we'll look at is Big Product Store, which is, I think, one of the oldest PLR websites. And they have a really great membership where there's the ultimate membership with a monthly and an annual version, and the regular membership with a monthly and annual version. And with both of them, you get access to a ton of products. I think the main feature of the ultimate version is Big Product Store exclusive products. And my favorite things about Big Product Store are the simplicity of the membership and the variety of the products. They have some things that very few other PLR websites have, such as PLR fiction stories, mostly kids fiction stories because those are shorter, they're easier to turn around. And I would say Big Product Store is probably the best for hidden gems, where if you just browse through their catalog a little bit and you run a few searches based on your brand and what you're looking for, you might find something that is really impressive, which you probably wouldn't find on any other website. And we'll go through two more quickly. So this one is IDPLR, and this is also one of the oldest websites. And they have some really high quality content, but unfortunately some of their content is also pretty low quality, and you won't really know until you download it. Fortunately, they have a lifetime deal. I think it's $150 now. It was $100 back when I bought it, but that was like 4 or 5 years ago. So inflation kind of makes sense that they put the price up. But once you have the membership, you can download all of their products, including their new products. And they don't publish as many new products as like PLR ME, but they do still put out stuff pretty regularly. And it's usually in niches that are either evergreen or that are currently trending, like TikTok Shop right now is big. And so putting that out is very timely. And so you can buy products individually. You can see they have prices, but you can actually sign up for a free account, which will allow you to download some of the products for free. And you can either come to the pricing page to see this, or once you sign up for a free account, then it'll offer you this. They've got a 3-month membership, a 1-year membership, and a lifetime membership at $147. And it's really worth the lifetime membership as long as they're publishing stuff that's relevant for your brand. My advice would be look at like the last 2 years of recent products that they've published. And if 10% or more of what they published is relevant to your brand, then it's probably worth grabbing the lifetime deal. And you can check the quality of their work before you buy it just by signing up for a free account. You can't access all the products that way, but you can access enough to see the quality. And the last one we'll look at is Tools for Motivation. Tools for Motivation has really, really good products. I would say they have some of the best video courses. And if you get on their email list, they regularly have special deals, including $0 products and bundles that are reduced by like 90%. So you can get a lot of value here. And true to the name, Tools for Motivation, they specifically create self-help PLR content. But as I mentioned earlier, just because it's self-help content doesn't mean that it can only be used if you're in a self-help niche. So if you are in a business or marketing niche, you could use self-help content to get people to have better, healthier work habits. If you are a teacher or a coach for students, you could use self-help content to help them have more self-esteem and to manage their time better. And you can apply this type of content to almost any niche, depending on what you're selling. And even if what you're selling isn't really related to this, you could tack on a self-help product as a bonus where, like, for example, if you are an online fitness coach and someone is purchasing your workout program, you could include a self-help product as a bonus, as something to help them build their motivation and their discipline so that they can actually do the workout and get the results. And for a lot of online products, including things like online fitness coaching and workouts and marketing and business products, basically any type of online education product, one of the biggest problems that vendors have is that sometimes their customers aren't happy because their customers don't effectively implement it. And so if you can add something as a bonus or as part of the product that is actually there to help them do that, that can potentially increase your customer lifetime value a lot by actually getting them the result. Thanks for watching. Remember to visit my blog if you want to grab a copy of my ebook called PLR Products Are the Path. You can also see all of the updates to my list of the top PLR websites here and sign up for push notifications so you'll always be notified when I publish new content. And if you're just a YouTube type person, please remember to like the video, subscribe to the channel, share this video with someone who might find it helpful, and I'll talk to you again soon.